call the Wayne County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. The invocation this morning, Commissioner Bell.
Mr. Chairman, the Wayne County Sheriff, Larry Pierce, is going to do our eulogy this morning. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Let's pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this opportunity to come together and to handle the business of our county. We pray, Lord, that you will give our government officials guidance, wisdom for the decisions that will be made here today. We pray for blessings upon our public, Lord, and we just pray for safety as the storm approaches us and the people in the areas that are being affected right now. We just offer a prayer up for them. We ask all things in thy holy name. Amen.
Thank you. Mr. Gurley.
Please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need a motion for the approval of our minutes of September the 20th.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we've got a motion of approval of our minutes. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Okay. And any adjustments to the agenda, Mr. Wood?
We have one, Mr. Chairman, and that is adding as number 6 in the consent agenda. It's a resolution recognizing the Goldsboro chapter of the Continental Societies, Inc. For their accomplishments, and this is what Marcia handed out to you at the 8 o'clock work session. And that's, I think, the only change we have.
Okay.
There is one thing on my memo to you on page 84. I think we were talking about the drainage pipes. I put 18 and 34 feet, and that should have been inches in diameter on those pipes.
Well, we figured that out.
Yeah, that was a long day. So I wanted y'all to know that technically that should be correct. And I believe that's everything. Public hearing on. Oh, yes. We need to add a public hearing for a potential industry that is expanding, and that's for an incentive grant for that company. And
All right.
so we'll want to put that onto the next agenda.
All right. Do we want to add that on the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay, item 7 then on the consent agenda would be the addition of a public hearing to be held at when?
It would be 9:30 on October 18th.
At 9:30 a.m. on October the 18th regarding,
Would be for an industrial expansion tax incentive.
okay. Okay, any objection that we add that to the consent agenda? Okay, if not, we'll just add that as item 7. All right, we've got some special recognition this morning. We would like to have an introduction. Commissioner Aycock, I believe you've got an introduction for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to introduce Dr. Thomas Walker, Jr., the new president of Wayne Community College. Dr. Walker comes to us from, he was campus president of Grand Isle campus of Central Community College in Nebraska. Dr. Walker is originally from Lumberton, North Carolina, and he is also an officer in the U.S. Marine Corps. And I will not go over all of his educational background. Dr. Walker, if you got a few words to say, please come forward. He did attend Carolina, but some of you don't hold it against him. I've got money invested there also.
Good morning, honorable commissioners. Just pleasure to be here. Humbled to meet you all and look forward to working with you as we continue at Wayne Community College, meeting the educational, workforce, and cultural needs of our community. And I'm gratified and grateful to be what I call home. Glad to be here.
We'd like to welcome you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to say that we're excited to have Dr. Walker here. We're really seeing things taking shape.
Great, great. Okay, our second introduction to this morning is Mr. Wood. I think you've
Yes.
got an introduction.
Yes, I do. I wanted to introduce our interim assistant county manager, Mr. Philip Ponder. Phil is over here. Phil has over 30 years of local government management experience. Most recently, for over a decade, he was the assistant county manager in Gaston County. For those of you who don't know, Gaston is next door to Mecklenburg, and it's a county of about 215,000 people. So he's used to very large organizations. He's also got experience as being their finance director. Prior to that, he's also been a city manager in at least 2 cities in North Carolina, and also a deputy city manager in another one. So he's extremely well qualified. I've known him personally for over 25 years. I have a great deal of confidence in him, and we're delighted that he would come and help us for about a 90 to 120-day period. So, Phil, welcome.
Thank you. Great, great. Two good additions here to Wayne County. We want to welcome you and Dr. Walker here. We look forward to great things ahead. Okay, we're going to go to, actually, we can't do that nor that. We're a little ahead of schedule. Let's go to the appointment committee.
We have 2 this morning. We'd like to recommend the appointment of Curtis Stafford to the Wayne County Planning Board. Mr. Chairman, I put this in a motion.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion on that motion? Being none, all those in favor of the motion signify by raising your right hand. Okay,
And our second recommendation this morning, we'd like to recommend the appointment of Teresa Wenders to the Wayne County Public Health Board. I'd like to put this in form of a motion.
okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Any discussion on the motion? Just one quick one. Great recommendation. All those in favor of the motion indicate by raising your right hand. Okay,
That concludes us.
all right, we've taken care of that. We're gonna go to consent agenda. We have now 7 items on the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on any item on our consent agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to comment on number 3, which is the Department of Social Service salary increases. I just wanted to make sure everybody's clear. What we're requesting is that these pay increases be approved effective for the October 25th payroll, but retroactive to August 1 for all DSS employees who are actively employed as of the date of this action. So that's the motion we're asking that you include as part of that consent agenda. And I wanted the minutes to reflect that.
Okay. Any other comments on any item under the consent agenda?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Commissioner Mayo.
just want to say a word about the DSS action that we've taken. As chairman of the DSS board, I want to say I appreciate what the county is stepping up to the plate and trying to get us competitive in different departments in the county with other counties. And this is greatly appreciated. We can't fix everything in a year, but we can certainly punch at it a little bit at a time. So I just want to say that from the DSS board that we appreciate the collaboration between the DSS board and the county, which has gotten very, very, we have really come together on moving forward. So I just want to say thank you.
Okay, any more discussion on consent agenda? Okay, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Being none, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Okay, so we've approved the consent agenda. Okay, it's 9:15. We're gonna go to public comments. Is there anyone that would like to make some public comment?
Tom Drew, P.O. Box 587, Goldsboro, North Carolina, 27533. I say good top of the morning, roosters. Y'all, to use a famous News Argus word, have reneged on the evening meetings to give other people an opportunity that aren't roosters like y'all. I'm glad Thomas G. Walker, is that correct?
Thomas
A. Walker. Did see the news that you were coming. I was hoping to send a letter of introduction and a question for your dated and signed answer. Are you aware that a citizen reporter can be banned arbitrarily, capriciously, indefinitely, without benefit of appeal from Wayne Community College? You can save your answer.
Mr. Drew, this is your comments, not
Yes,
question
yes.
time. Serious
Serious matter of life and death. And I will be in the free speech zone at the entrance to WCC for your answer as soon as possible. Another the ongoing research of the state of education and democracy that is a threat to national and international security, and recognizing that electoral due process trumps the candidacies of Donald and Hillary, I wish to announce today that the contesting of the 2016 Wayne County elections is now in due process by securing, in light of a ban restricting the securing of the appropriate forms, I have requested by email those documents and requested that they be emailed back to me. And I ask the county attorney and his ability as a free speech lawyer to meet the needs of the county in regards to public records requests. When it's not appropriately responded to, one can do a petition or file a motion compelling disclosure. I asked the county attorney if the judge presiding that court of general justice or such, she or he responds to that request for a motion compelling disclosure that the request is frivolous. Is that judge in contempt of court? My understanding, the only purpose of that judge that day is to secure that that which is being requested is a public record, and that has been requested appropriately, and is or is not being responded to appropriately. The county now has many public records requests that I need to file motions of compelling disclosure and seek your advice on that, because in the past I've gotten a response that it's frivolous, and I recognize that response, that judge was in contempt of court. Asked John Bell, I did make an error last week. I was seeking what constitutes a liaison to the Board of Elections, and did get that you were nominated, and I thought I did include that you were what constitutes, but it doesn't. Are you open to discussion at a time and place of mutual convenience of what constitutes a liaison, your position as liaison to the Wayne County Board of Elections?
I didn't understand the question.
Again, I refer that please suspend.
Well, stop the clock.
Again, this is not a question and answer period. Please make your comments. That means statements. Thank you.
Well, y'all had rules on here that are questionable, and I question your statement then as out of order. And if you can't ask a candidate a question before the election, forget it during the election. When they're in position, things you hope to clarify before the fact. I put these things in writing, no reply, no reply. How else does a citizen ask a representative a question? The right to petition your representatives. This is part of it. This is it.
Thank you.
This is it, folks, and it's being restricted right and left.
Thank you, Mr. Drew.
Over and up.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to make some comment?
Sheriff Larry Pierce, Wayne County. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I just wanted to give you the information that I'd received yesterday from the Governor's office stating, "Dear Sheriff Pierce, enclosed, please find the proclamation signed by Governor McCoy announcing this state is offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the murder of Mr. Dial Morrissey." Mr. Morrissey was a 15-year-old young man that was killed in the Dudley area last November, and we did request this from the governor's office, and it has been awarded through proclamation. Secondly, I'd just like the commissioners to know that our helicopter was requested yesterday to assist the Johnson County Sheriff's Office in looking for a elderly lady that had walked off from her home early Saturday morning, and when it was discovered, they commenced a search for her. She was not being able to locate it, so yesterday our helicopter was requested, and they did locate the lady laying in a ditch from the air, and so we were very happy with that, and just letting y'all know what had gone on in that situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else with any other comments? Anyone else? Okay, we're going to close our public comment period. We're going to recess for until 9:30. All right, we'll move on down to new business. Under new business, item 1 is a motion to approve Industry Appreciation Month proclamation. And I think we've got WCDA existing industry manager Tiffany Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Commissioners. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Industry Appreciation Month, which our organization, the Wayne County Development Alliance, has declared for the month of October. In Wayne County,
Go ahead.
In Wayne County, we can count on our existing industries. We have about 70 manufacturers, wholesalers, distributors, and machine shops that employ over 8,000 of our citizens. The products produced or distributed by these companies range from automotive, electronics, and aviation to plastics, food, and technical support, and they all play a very significant role in our economy. They invest money. They are some of our top taxpayers. They employ our citizens. They contribute to local charities, festivals, and organizations. And they provide our community with great leadership and great leaders. So this month, we want to honor these industries, and we ask the board to consider approving the following resolution, which I will read. Whereas the Wayne County Board of Commissioners supports the endeavors of industry in Wayne County, and whereas the Wayne County Development Alliance hosts the industry celebration each year to thank more than 70 major manufacturers, distributors, wholesalers, machine shops, and other businesses in the county. And whereas events planned to celebrate these industries include a forklift rodeo at the Advanced Manufacturing Center, a golf tournament at Walnut Creek Country Club, an award ceremony to name this year's Industry of the Year, and tours of local industries. Whereas representatives from local businesses and industries and guests who will include officials from the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina, our utility allies, local and state elected officials, and community leaders will attend these events. And whereas this is an annual tradition, giving the community a chance to pause and say thanks to our industries for all they do for Wayne County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Wayne County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim the month of October 2016 as Industry Appreciation Month in Wayne County, adopted this 4th day of October 2016.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we accept the resolution as presented by Ms. Creech.
Okay. We've got a motion on the floor to approve. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 2 is a Medicare Part D open enrollment, and we're going to have Wayne County Seniors Health Insurance Information Program coordinator, Lisa Barker, will explain something on open enrollment. And I'm very interested in hearing this.
Good morning. I feel like I'm becoming a regular here. I'm Lisa Barker, and I am the SHIP Senior Health Insurance Information Program Coordinator here in Wayne County. And we are coming up on annual open enrollment. So for anybody who already has Medicare and they have either a prescription drug program or an Advantage plan, this is the time between October 15th and December 7th to review that plan, to make sure that you're on a plan that's most cost effective, that covers all of the medications that you're on, and just kind of to evaluate how the past year has been so that in 2017 you're on the best plan for you. During this time, we will, starting Monday, October 17th, on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, from 9 a.m. until 12, we will do a first-come, first-served basis, just as a walk-in. People just need to bring in their Medicare card and their list of medications and any questions that they might have. Primarily, we are staffed by volunteers that are SHIP-certified counselors, and we will do our best to serve everybody as they come in each day. Again, it's from 9 to 12, and it's a walk-in basis. We're not scheduling appointments for this because it's just, even though you might have to wait a little bit, you make sure that you get in that day instead of having somebody cancel and then you've got a counselor who's not being productive during that hour. Again, for most people that are coming in, it's 9 to noon, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, starting December 17th at our senior center at 2001 East Ash Street here in Goldsboro. We will also have 2 dates at the nutrition site in Mount Olive. And I'm sorry to say, I don't know those off the top of my head, so I'm going to have to look real quick. The dates for the Mount Olive meal site will be October 27th as well as November 10th. And again, that will be from 9 until noon, and we will either have 2 or 3 counselors in Mount Olive that day at the Mount Olive meal site. And when you come in, again, just bring in your Medicare card, your list of medications, and any questions that you have. It's usually a pretty smooth process, and we will help you to review the plan that you have, or we will help you to review the plans that are available and help you to sign up for a new plan. If we help you sign up for a plan, you can choose to either have it come directly out of your Medicare, the Medicare payment can come directly out of your Social Security. If you want to do it on your own, we are not able to sign you up to have that come out of your Social Security. You have to go through doing it online that way. You can do it as a bank draw, or you can send in a check as well when you decide what plan that you would like. So again, it's annual open enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. However, at the Senior Center, we will be available Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, October 17th through December 6th, from 9 a.m. until 12 noon.
Okay, anyone have any questions? I want to thank you so much for coming in and sharing that with us today.
Thank you, and I'm
There's a
sure
number
I'll
of
see-
people that have got a lot of questions when it comes to that. I got a booklet in the mail, I think it was that thick.
Yes, sir.
I have not opened it, so I'm gonna come to you and get Cliff Notes.
That would be perfect. And we do encourage, especially if somebody's new to Medicare, if you're new to Medicare, you only have the 3 months after you turn 65, if you're no longer working, to sign up for your Part D plan. So you've got the 3 months before you're 65, the month you turn 65, and 3 months after. So again, that would be a time for you to come in as well and meet with one of the SHIP counselors. So we'd be happy to help you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we get the literature in the mail, and of course it tells you that if you don't think you need to make a change, disregard it. The problem that I see for the public is it's kind of hard to know sometimes whether you need to make a change. And this is not exactly an unbridled assault on the insurance company, but it is. I feel like we're at the mercy of insurance companies because they sort of dictate what medicines that we can have. And I asked this question publicly so the newspaper can maybe check on it. But it seems like that we're being switched from medicines to medicines for the bottom line expense for the insurance company versus what may be best for us. If insurance companies switch us from one generic to another one, it appears to me, as Old Country Boy, that they're just setting it to deliver to us a medicine, but if they switch us from one to another one, I'm wondering what basis did they do that, and how assured can the public be that you're getting the very best product? And I just think the public needs to chew on that a little bit, because it concerns me, as I know it concerns other folk, about the insurance companies having, seemed like to me, too much authority when it comes to talking about which medicines are which generic. Why can't we have the original product? And I think we're just being shifted.
And what I will tell you from what I heard at my training a couple of months ago is there are some big changes that are going to be happening. We haven't gotten all of that information yet. October 15th, everything downloads to Medicare.gov. So hopefully then they will have worked out all of the kinks and know what's being provided. Every single plan that's available out there can dictate their own tiers. So with your medications, generally generics are tier 1 and tier 2, and then the more expensive brand names, or what Medicare calls convenience medications, like insulin that's in a click pen. They consider that to be a convenience medication, as well as some of the breathing medications. Some of the programs don't even cover those, or they do, and they're very high.
So based upon what you just said, the tiers, are you telling us that like a cut of meat at the store, they got one's not necessarily as good as the next one, although they say this generic will do just what the other one is doing? Am I hearing you tell us that, in your opinion, that the companies could be shifting us to another medicine that may not do what our original medicine was doing?
I'm not a doctor, so.
No, but I'm not trying to put you in a bad spot, but here's what I would ask you to do. Since you're the closest thing to an expert that's probably in this room this morning, I would wish that you would look at that and come back to us with your best guess, because I don't want to, as in my family sometimes they'll say I'm beating a dead horse, but I think we need to make an issue of this so that our legislators in Raleigh, when they're dealing with the insurance companies, can do something about this, because I just feel like we're being manipulated.
And I do know that the Commissioner of Insurance has tried to ring that bell and holler loudly to say we need to make sure that people are getting the medications that they need. And during open enrollment is the perfect time to come in and make sure whatever you are on, the plan that you need to be on is the one that you're on. So if whatever your medications are that the doctor has said would be best for you, if you come in during open enrollment, we can evaluate that and make sure that you're on the best plan for you. I can't advocate to the doctor to change things, and I completely understand, your question and your concern, because I've asked people that come in to write to Medicare or to write to our legislatures, because there are things that are changing that we don't have a whole lot of control over. So if we create a loud voice together and let them know that we're concerned about the changes with the insurance companies. I know that the commissioner has tried through the Department of Insurance to advocate to the best, but there are things that are always changing, and they are insurance companies. So they've been approved to sell here in North Carolina. So I think he tries to go with the ones that have the best coverage and the best reputation. But at the same time, it's still an insurance company.
Thank you, ma'am. And I think you may have hit upon the word. We all create a loud voice because we sit quietly by. The same old thing you keep getting done to. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're now going to go to a public hearing on a proposed road name change. Mr. Crumpler, I think you're going to give us some information on this.
Okay. Wayne County did receive a petition requesting the naming of a new road located off of Hare Road south of the US 70 bypass. One proposed name was N.J. Dahl Road. The road was created by the construction and realignment of a new bridge over the US 70 bypass for Hare Road. This road was constructed to provide access to properties that were cut off from direct access to Hare Road. The road is approximately 0.28 miles in length and contains 4 addressable structures. Up for consideration is N.J. Dahl Road and as well as A.B. Barnes Road. The adjoining property owners were notified, notice was run in a newspaper, and a sign was placed on site.
Okay. We are now going to open up our public hearing on a proposed road name change. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this matter?
Good morning, sirs.
Good morning.
My name is Mary Barnes. I'm a resident of that community. We are here in response to that road name, and we submitted the name A.B. Barnes, my late husband, okay? And we have a letter that we sent to Mr. Crumpler, and it says, we are writing in response to the letter received. There is presently one already named in the Dahl family honor. So just let me read this to you.
Okay.
James Samuel Barnes, deceased, purchased land in this area in the late 1920s. The Barnes family have been lifelong residents since that time. We are taxpayers and honest, law-abiding citizens who are respected in the community. Alfred Benjamin Barnes, my husband, deceased. He was the grandson of Mr. James Samuel Barnes. He was born within half a mile of this property. Alfred Benjamin Barnes was one of the heirs of this property who was purchased, and we have purchased other properties in the area. We are asking you to consider the proposed name and instead name it Alfred B. Barnes Road, in that there is another road within 2 miles of this road named in honor of that family. We would be so honored if you would give us that respect. And we have 100 signatures to support this from the community. Would you like to see that? We mailed this to who is Mr. Crumpler?
He's right there. So you've got that, Mr. Crumpler, is that correct?
I've gotten it. It was too late. It was in too late to get it in your agenda back.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Todd Gerganis. My granddad was N.J. Dahl, and my grandmother was a Hare, and we had a family farm there, and the road, when it came through, divided that farm. And part of that farm my grandmother inherited, and the other part my granddad, for a period of time, and we cleared and farmed. That road, this new road that ties into it, we wanted to honor him. Community, he was a farmer, and if you knew my granddad, if he thought the only thing you could do with it was farm it, he was looking to clear it, and he cleared a lot of land in the community. We had sent in numerous family asking that the road be named after him, in just celebration. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there?
Shirley Edwards, 1766, a resident of Tommy's Road. I'm in support of the road being named after Mr. Best. That community out there is called the Best Road Community. Best. the Best family. They are long residents of that family. We in that area have many roads named after different persons. I believe, and I feel strongly, that it's high time that we also name some roads in that area. And I recognize the Dow family, I recognize and we to recognize an athlete in that neighborhood here since time eternal. And we would hope that you would give that some consideration.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak? Anyone else? If not, we're going to close our public hearing on the proposed road name change. And at this point, we're going to recess the Board of Commissioners meeting, and we're going to convene the Wayne County Board of Adjustment meeting. And at this time, we're going to have a public hearing to receive public comments on a special use permit for a proposed Miller Chapel Solar Farm LLC at 660 Millers Chapel Road, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Mr. Crumpler.
Yes, sir. The Wayne County Planning Board on August the 9th, 2016 approved the site plan for Miller's Chapel Solar Farm. It was reviewed by the staff and has been determined to meet the minimum requirements of the Wayne County ordinance regulating solar energy facilities. It is a 5 megawatt PV electrical generation facility. It is a tracking solar panel that moves with the sun. There will be on driven piles. It will be a 43.7 acre site on Miller's Chapel Road. It will interconnect to the local distribution system, Duke Progress Energy. It is currently agricultural in use, located on the east side of Miller's Chapel, mile north of Fair. This property is 30 industries are allowed use in RA 30. They are a permitted use in light industry. The Air Force Base has reviewed the site plan, and a copy of their review letter has been submitted as evidence in your agenda package. The site is bordered by agricultural uses on the west, wooded tracts on the south and east, and commercial to the north. The site plan meets the requirements as outlined in the Wayne County Ordinance regulating solar energy facilities for setbacks, fencing, landscaping requirements, signage, etc. According to our ordinance, the solar energy facilities, any solar energy facility must have a special use permit in all areas of the county, which is covered by the Seymour Johnson Air Force Base Airspace Control Surface Area is delineated in the 2011 AQs. So that is the reason it's before you today. This property is within Elroy Fire Department, EMS Station 5. It is not within a water supply watershed area. There are no voluntary ag districts present, no wetlands, and it is within Board of Commissioners District 6. The Wayne County Planning Board recommends that the special use permit be approved.
Okay. We're opening our public hearing to receive comments on this. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this topic?
Good morning, my name is Javier Latre, 749 Cristaldi Way in Longwood, Florida. I represent ESA Renewables and ESA Miller's Chapel Solar Farm. Just came to see if you have any particular questions or anything that I can address for the board. Thank you very much.
All right, is there anyone that would have any questions? Well, that was brief, no questions.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak during the public comment period? Anyone else?
Yes, my parents was raised on Mill South Road.
Your name, sir?
Dr. Durham.
Okay.
And of course, I want to ask, what kind of defect would it be on the land when the solar panel? What kind of effect it would have on the land?
What kind of effect it would have on the land?
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll get that question answered.
Oh,
Okay. Mr. Crumpler, can you give us some direction on this? It's my understanding we do in fact have a decommissioning plan.
Yes, sir. As part of your agenda package, as a part of the evidence that was submitted to you was a decommissioning plan. The site, as long as it is utilized as a solar energy facility, obviously it comes out of agricultural production. But once it's abandoned or closed, it would be discontinued, disassembled, and returned back to agricultural use. Any of the topsoil that would be eroded away would be replaced. The representative from the solar energy facility, if you have any more questions with more detail, he may could answer a little bit better than I could.
Okay. All right, is there anyone else that would like to speak? Last call. Okay, we're going to close our public hearing on this matter. And before we adjourn this Board of Adjustment, is there someone that would be interested in making a motion on this matter?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Commissioner Pate.
I make the motion that we consider the issuance of the special use permit and move forward as recommended by the planning board.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. At this time, we are going to adjourn the Wayne County Board of Adjustment and reconvene the Board of Commissioners meeting. Next item on our agenda is a motion to approve National 4-H Week in Wayne County.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Wallace Simmons. This is Miss Summer Young, and she's a 4-H program assistant. I think it's a great opportunity to bring before you a proclamation about National 4-H Week, because 4-H is a youth organization that does a lot of good things in the community, and it has a lot of volunteers that do a lot of good things in the community, and the public needs to be aware of all the good things that are happening. Over the past 10 years, 4-H has been recognized in Wayne County for the volunteer efforts more than any other county in the state, along with our youth being recognized more than any other county in the state. And I think that says great things about the 4-H and the cooperative extension, and 4-H is the youth component of the cooperative extension. Way too often I think we hear of the bad things that youth are doing, and this is an opportunity for us to present the good things that youth are doing throughout the community. And I bring for you this proclamation about Wayne County 4-H. Whereas 4-H has been serving young people in North Carolina with educational and leadership opportunities since 1914, and Wayne County 4-H worked with over 16,500 youth during the past year. Whereas the mission of statement of 4-H in Wayne County is, Wayne County 4-H is a youth development organization utilizing volunteers to meet the needs of today's youth through hands-on learning experiences. And whereas Wayne County has over 36 4-H clubs throughout the county with over 465 adult volunteers. And whereas Wayne County 4-H members participate in summer camps, meeting new people and making lifelong friends, learn to develop leadership and healthy life skills, participate in career building and educational activities, and become involved in their community. And whereas Wayne County 4-H members gain skills through leadership training, public speaking contests, talent shows, fashion views, presentations, Big Sweep, Make a Difference Day, livestock show and sales, and summer camps. Whereas the Wayne County 4-H offers members the participating in traditional programs, after-school programs, prevention programs, 21st century programs, school enrichment programs, military kids programs, and educational programs including math, science, and technology. And whereas the 4-H benefits the community by providing role models, by providing hands-on learning opportunities to help our youth learn decision-making, cooperation, and communication skills, by giving opportunities to improve self-esteem, and giving families the opportunity to work together on projects and providing constructive, positive recreational activities. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Wayne County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim 2nd through the 8th, 2016 as Week in Wayne County, and urges the citizens of Wayne County to take advantage of the opportunities to become more aware of the special program, and that which gives you the chance to learn together and on their own as part of Wayne County 4-H this 4th day of October 2016. And I present that to the Wayne County Commissioners for approval.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this resolution for 4-H and put that in form of a motion, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion on the?
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Just to add it, our company is a sponsor Raptors, which does the youth and the experience that you get. So understanding that Friday with the manufacturing day in Lenore County, I understand that the Rotary Raptors are going to be there.
A lot of our participate in a lot of different things. Our Rotary Raptors Club, which focuses on technology and to support. Let me say that up front. We had they will be at that program in a district competition. In this past year, there were 3 competitions that they competed in. They performed really well, represented Wayne County really well, and each year, young people going through this program, which really is part of the cutting edge opportunities for young people to get out there and learn about the things that are happening, not only in the manufacturing aspect of it, but also in the electricity and the building of the robotic, working together as teams. And a highlighting example of what 4-H people, it gives them the opportunity together with a caring adult. Research has shown that opportunity of working together with a caring adult, where they may not have it at home, will build a more, so yes, we do have that opportunity there. We appreciate the support, and it's a great opportunity for young people to participate in a lot of different ways, and include the robotics program, which is a shining star for us.
Just one more. Friday is Lenore County by Park, and counties are involved in that. I heard out that there was like 5 school students going to be there. Friday, there's not going to be there. So this is a huge opportunity to show high school students what's out there as far as trades are concerned and all other, science, maths. I look at it as an extension of the STEM program. That's what I look at.
Exactly.
You have all the facets that young people can see. So I just want to say I appreciate what the 4-H does overall, and I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you. And let me say and add to that, it's our leaders that are out there. There's almost 500 leaders that are working for Wayne County and providing those opportunities. They're taking those young people over there, and they're providing that opportunity to spread the word. So a lot more than happens through the extension office. We recruit those leaders, and they in turn go out and recruit other leaders and young people. So the monies that come in to support the Wayne County 4-H program gets expended probably 100 times over by the volunteers are putting robotics programs and things. We do appreciate our volunteer leaders in the county on that on public record as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I just want to make a couple of comments. I also want to join in commending Wallace and his staff and all the adult volunteers for 4-H. Just to give you some idea of how our program has grown, the 4-H participation numbers over the past 5 years, the number of youth by 9, the number of has increased 30%, and the number of adult volunteers has increased by 365. So I think you can see they're very active, and that's why they've been getting the awards they've been getting. This really is a shining star for Wayne County, and they've done a great job. I just want to commend you on it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, any other discussion? Not, the motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Okay, that's unanimously approved. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, our next item on the agenda is a motion to approve the guaranteed maximum price contract. Mr. Wood.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you have a memo starting on page 84 in your packet. I'm going to go over that with you. And in addition to that, I had handed out the actual guaranteed maximum price amendment that was prepared by H.H. Architecture. Just to refresh your memory, we did the first amendment to our contract with the construction manager at risk for the guaranteed maximum price several months ago. That was for the site work. And that amount was for $3,001,446, with an additional amount of $51,000 approved should the quantities change on some of the unit priced items. So that's where it stands now. What we're looking at now is subsequent to that initial GMP contract, T.A. Loving, our CMAR, has now bid out the rest of the subcontracts. They have a number of those subcontracts ready to be approved as they have vetted them for value engineering and finalized negotiations with the subcontractors. And I just want to refresh the public's memory on this. Every subcontract has been bid with sealed bids. So these are competitively bid packages, every one of them. They have, like I said, they have a number of these ready to go. Some of the subcontracts still need to be vetted for further savings. And one of them needs to be broken down into multiple smaller subcontracts so that we can get better pricing. And because of that, they have rejected that one bid, so they'll be rebidding that one. They are recommending, and I'm also recommending, that you approve the subcontracts for the concrete, masonry, structural and miscellaneous steel, and plumbing. These 4 contracts are the most critical from the standpoint of continuing construction without any delays, and they have been completely vetted. The 4 of them are shown on the first attachment as the bid summary for GMP Amendment Number 2 at a total cost of $3,997,373. That attachment also shows the subcontracts that have been bid but are still under review. T.A. Loving believes they can be finished with that process in 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll either be back to you with the remaining work to be awarded in a third amendment, either at the next meeting or the meeting after that, depending on how quickly they can complete that work. The second attachment is a letter from T.A. Loving, which I've reviewed with them on the additional costs for their fees and permits as spelled out in our contract with them. That brings the total added amount of Amendment Number 2, trades and CMAR fees and permits, to $4,442,223. When you add that to the $3,052,446 in Amendment Number 1, the GMP contract amount would now be $7,494,669. Consequently, the motion that I'm recommending you adopt should be as follows. I move that the guaranteed maximum price agreement, Amendment Number 2, for the CMAR contract for the construction of the Maxwell Regional Agricultural and Convention Center is hereby amended from $3,052,446 to $7,494,669 to cover the inclusion of bid packages $300 for concrete, $400 for masonry, $500 for structural and miscellaneous steel, and $2,200 for plumbing. The third attachment to this memo is the bid tabulation for all 4 of these subcontracts so that you can see the sealed bid pricing received by T.A. Loving. H.H. Architecture, as I said, the 4th attachment, which I handed out this morning, is the actual GMP Agreement Amendment Number 2. So if you walk through the attachments, you'll see on page 86, under bid summary for GMP Amendment Number 2, you'll see the breakout of the cost for each one of the winning bids on this, and that's in the middle of the page. Below that is the trades bid but are not finalized. These are all the ones that are outstanding, and one of those will be rebid completely. Following that, on page 87, you see the letter from T.A. Loving. This explains the additional fees. If you look at the middle of that, it says, following is a summary breakdown of the amendment. The cost of the work, in other words, the 4 subcontracts is $3,997,373. The construction management general conditions fee, and that's at 9.5%, is $379,750. We also, in our contract, pay for the permits, so they have included the building permit, and this, I should point out, this is the total building permit for the entire project. So that's the $25,126. And then you have a construction management construction contingency, that's 1%, in case we have any changes there. So when you add all of that up, that's where you get the $4,442,223. You add the First Amendment amount in that, and that's where we get the total project to date. If you award this, well, again, would be the $7,494,669. And following that, on page 88, for those of you who want to see it, that is the breakdown of those 4 bid packages, and as you can see, we had quite a bit of competition on each one of them. So with that, I recommend that you make the motion as written in the memo and accept these 4 contracts, or accept these 4 subcontract prices and award that one contract to T.A. Loving.
Okay, is there any questions, Mr. Wood, on this matter?
I will say also we have representatives from T.A. Loving here if you have any questions. Mr. Gerard and Mr. Wynn are both here. If y'all have any questions.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
And so that I include everything I'm supposed to include, I'm going to reread what he read. I move that the guaranteed maximum price agreement amendment number 2 for the CMAR contract for the construction of the Maxwell Regional Agricultural and Convention Center is hereby amended from $3,052,446 to $7,494,669 structural and miscellaneous steel and $2,200.
On the floor, is there any discussion or comments or questions on the matter? Not, motion signify. Okay. So the next item is a motion to authorize the hiring of the Maxwell Regional Agricultural and Convention Center Director.
Mr. Chairman, as I told y'all at the 8 o'clock briefing, we're at a point now where we need to begin the process of hiring a director of convention. This will be in charge of sending recommendations for us on all of the policies to put it and process somebody on first week 2007 building leader. They are team. We really, as we've got us about each run-ups, takedowns, catering. There's things you can. Recommendation to you is to authorize us to person that get them January, December.
Give you funding.
The funding of this under our agreement, 5%, about $200. Started July 1 for the full fiscal year, so we should be $200 because we go the bookings at a month. The internship operating as a rev shows until we decided when to buy more than enough money from the hotel this fiscal director. Anybody much post opening a facility will need to bring the second key person on board, which is the. And if y'all recall, we went with Craven Kennedy, just like the department. And they've been good enough to share a lot of their operating information, including their job is everything is taken care of, all the policy problems, and that's the charge of operation. They have to handle the taking equipment into running a convention center. So, just a multitude of things to make her run. You can imagine occupant, you can towns on and things, posing much closer to opening. But the key number, you don't have or should say is people person is ensure we have scheduled each of everybody has at our for today to hire, so start getting and
To make them as the county to region director.
We have a motion.
By the way, around that tell time. And if I was, they really, that's good.
We started and we percentage so that we could capture that growth, so that we shared in that growth.
And we do have a new tourism director. I won't try to say her whole name. It's Ashlyn because I can.
Ashlyn Glather.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glather. I didn't want to embarrass myself.
She has a lot of experience in the hotel. In fact, development, therefore, is one of our members as well. Bill and I have been particularly impressed with her in the meetings. She's very knowledgeable. This was the city's hire, but we both commended them on the selection. We think she's going to do a great job.
Okay. Got a motion on the floor to authorize the hiring of the director for Maxwell Regional Agricultural Convention Center. Any more discussion? All those, here's a
I
comment.
just got a few things. The first one is, I want to talk a little bit about storm preparations for concern and about, they're going to have sheriff and other public safety officials today. We get a briefing about 11. They get that situation, like we are starting tomorrow. We'll have a department head go over and just make sure that every department head is reminded of what are in that tabletop walkthrough. We're supposed to be aware, and of course, vision about the active DSM and also and other shelters. We just want in our plan, make sure everybody fully understands. What's on the goal is enough on the give you all a line up to 30th. Mr. Wood informed you the trust fund awarded dollars title handles about regulation to let y'all know this is official confirmation that we have gotten that $1. Special Jimmy Dixon, who has helped us with this process all along. But on that,
I'm kidding a little. Keith's done. George, I definitely had to go on to kind of follow from the Red Lake loan, so I'm really pleased to see this kind of help offset the cost of the center.
yeah, this is great. I want to stress the loan. This is not that loans aren't, but they're not near as big as this.
And being, this is an agriculture, so this is the proper way to use those tobacco trust funds.
Right. I'm handing to mention to last one, we want energy vehicle, several, I think, and I pat on the and ran, neither one, and I had him in the right direction, and he took the ball and ran with it. He has coordinated with the department after, so what is these stations, we'll see it, and there's reason that one of the charge to station. So here is that you, and I want to point out to you that the estimated average time users park is 3 hours, and it said ports per station. We would put one at Wayne Community College, and one that would actually head to Wayne Community. In the last parking here, and we're going to work with the downtown Goldsboro people about where we should space for right-of-way spaces. So we're going to work with them about exactly where to put these. We may put some of them over by the elections board because, as y'all know, that's not usually tied up. But if you're an EV owner, these things are kind of rare, so, they'll be happy to have one anywhere in the general area. I did want y'all to know that the county would run the electrical wiring, and that should not be a problem because we'll have electrical for the lights in there. Called Duke Power is installing all of that, and we're going to lease that from them. The other thing I did want to stress is these are where the user pays for the electricity. So we're not giving, my approach is we don't buy other people's gas or diesel, so we're not going to buy these people's electricity. But we'll make it available and they can purchase it and go from there. But these, to my knowledge, these would be the first electric vehicle charged in Wayne County, unless there's something I don't know about. So I want to let y'all know, we put those in September 1. I'm not sure. Do you remember the date? I think they said it does not. After the first of the year. So we'll have plenty of time, if we get it, to install them as part of the construction out at the Ag Center.
Just a quick comment on that. You all had a very, very short notice on the fact that these grants were being available. Y'all jumped right on that and got those grants in before the cutoff date, and we appreciate that.
Thank you. Again, I give all the credit to Chip. He really jumped in and got, and that's all the.
On the issue, I'm sure my conservative side, is there any markup on that electricity?
Well, it's funny you bring that. We yes.
All right.
Okay. Now, commissioner comments, committee reports. Commissioner Bell?
Mr. Chairman, the Hispanic Committee met last Tuesday, and they are still working hard trying to make sure that all the Hispanic consumers in Wayne County are able to function and participate in the county, facilities, the places that they authorized to participate in, I put it that way. So trying hard to make sure that everybody have access to whatever. East Point, as I have what they call consumers all over the 12-county region now can website and pull up what East Point are doing, what they're qualified to do, and who's paid. So we still don't have any when we're going to consolidate or who we're going to consolidate with. So that's still, as I said before, up to the the Director of Human Services. And the center. Talking about the senior center because it's a great, you heard the young lady this morning talk about the Medicare and all the access to that nobody have to just assume that they can do certain things, because I will show you how to do it. And I like dancing, and I've seen some when we go off on these conventions, so.
Saying we need some training, huh?
They have all kind of dance program, all kind of health programs, and just about anything you want to do is over at the senior center. So I want somebody besides me, and I think there's some more guys up here that's 55 or older that ought to be participating. Right, Joe?
I'm not 55.
I am over 55, I'll admit. Commissioner Aycock.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On September 21st, I attended a cancer awareness program out at the Wayne Memorial Hospital. Everyone knows October is breast cancer awareness. I just stress the ladies the importance of making sure you have especially after you get over 55, tested for breast cancer, because it's one of the main killers of female population. And I'm not ruling out the male population, because 1% of males, 1% of breast cancer are in males, and I was either fortunate enough or not fortunate enough to be in that 1%. But my main concern is the ladies. Y'all fall into them, so please, is having another seminar on October the 13th. On the 22nd of September, the BOC Community Council meeting. On the 27th of September, attended a board meeting at the college, and well outcome of that meeting, and I can see some at the college already. The Walker time to get seated, and I think I'm looking for great things out of him. Also on the 28th of September, attended the State of the Military Affairs, very informative again. The base commander and the refueling wing commander spoke, and actually give some information for report, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mayo.
I also attended the base council meeting, which is always, because as you know, always the top priority. That relationship is critical. Also, we had our monthly DSS meeting for Wayne County, and most of you know some of the things that's going on in DSS I won't go into. I also wanted to welcome Phil Ponder. I mentioned to you earlier that I won't hold it against you because you're associated with George Wood, okay?
Thank
you. Because I happen to be on the working group, the interview for county manager, and Mr. Bill Pape was on that, and also Ed Camardi. It was a no-brainer when we got to George Wood, and I think you guys will agree to that. So I wanted to welcome you to Wayne County. And also, let's not forget, as Tiffany was here, this is Manufacturing Month. Let's not forget what the governor goal is east of I-95. He has stated that manufacturing increase east of I-95 because this is where most of the bases are located. He wants to see machining and manufacturing of aerospace parts. He wants to see east before that. So this is part of what I mentioned earlier about the Rotoraptors and what the 4-H does. That they're going to be in Kinston as part of the Global Transport next Friday. So we need to make sure that we keep jobs and creation of jobs for minds, because that's what the number one is across the nation with our citizens. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. First, I would just like to say to my fellow commissioners and to the staff, I am real tickled to be back with you. There are often unexpected surprises in life, and so I had to undergo a little bit of emergency surgery. And when you use the word emergency, you know it wasn't planned for. But I would only like to say that as you go through life, don't take tomorrow for granted, because it's certainly not guaranteed to you, and try to enjoy today. While I did, I think I missed 2 meetings, and so that constitutes probably almost a month being away from you all. And I had the opportunity, though, once some of my constituency found out I was home, they could catch me, and because they oftentimes complained that my cell phone would not take a message, and so I had to get back with them. But so they were able to catch me at home. And I'd like to share with you just a little bit about some of the things that that I heard. I haven't attended any of my regular committee meetings, but I certainly was able to interact with my constituency over the phone at home. I would first like to reference the fact and thank Mr. Mayo for the good work that he's done with, and I reference the DSS board, which of course there's a piece in the work pages today that we've come up with some equalization of salaries so that they would not be left behind. Mr. Mayo referenced our county manager, and I do believe we probably have, not that we're getting ready to give him any kind of a raise, but I do believe we probably have one of the better money managers east of 95. And let me recognize the chairman of the Board of Education, Mr. Chris West. Back here 60 days ago or so, we were involved in a session that involved the school system about funding for facilities. And the subject of what would be funded came up, and in a discussion with I and I believe Mr. Mayo was in that particular session, the school superintendent, and our chairperson, Mr. Wood, and the subject came up about Southern Wayne with a gym and whether it could be put in the current funding stream or not. And of course, if I remember, without holding to the exact words, the superintendent said, well, I'd be glad to build whatever you all can get us money for. And I turned to our illustrious county manager, and he began to devise ways that could be funded. So I say to the public, the citizens of Southern Wayne County is very happy that we'll be getting a gym for Southern Wayne, and also some renovations of bathrooms for the Mount Olive Middle School. That is so important to our citizens, and I do appreciate the good work, and I appreciate the work that the Board of Education is doing. But each time I give out an accolade, there's probably a little something back here in the right hand that may not be. Over the last 3 or 4 years, I have advocated for our teachers to get paid when they serve at ball games. And to my knowledge, they have not been able to do that yet. Based upon what the superintendent said about the buildings that day, for the Board of Education to be able to set aside some dollars specific for teachers who work ball games and to be able to get paid just like the coaches and the referees and the police, there might have to be a separate pot of money set aside for that. I publicly say today that I'm prepared at this meeting, because I want to let my fellow county commissioners absorb this, I'm prepared to put forth an amendment that would develop a budget amendment that would set aside some specific dollars that would only be used to pay for our teachers to be paid when they work ball games. And this is why this is important. You have a teacher, husband and wife are working, 2 children, they have to go back to a ball game. Somebody's got to keep their children. So those are dollars. And if they don't get some pay, then they're going to have to pull that money out of their own pocket. So while we have this illustrious group of people right here, I want to advocate for a minute for that group, because as we took care of the DSS board and EMS and the deputies and some other people who needed to have salary adjustments, I want to make sure that we spread all the grapes off of the vine to everyone. Also, of course, I got a couple of calls about health care since they knew I was home recuperating from a health situation. That was interesting. I still get calls concerning, Mail just left, but the speed of which we get rescue service in the southern part of the county or in any outlying area. And so, since I know that this great group of folk here can take care of almost anything, I just want to put that back on the agenda. The last call I got last night was from a gentleman, and I kind of believe he might be watching this program today. And Mr. Wood, I cannot, and he couldn't give me a specific, but here was his comment to me. He said, Mr. Kamadi, he said, and he probably called me in, I'm not sure. He said, I have a concern that you all would not give taxing authority to anyone else. Mr. Wood, I don't believe we've tried to do that. And the only thing I could think of, I know in some of the northern states, the Board of Education has some independent taxing authority. I don't think that exists any place in North Carolina.
No.
Now,
and that's statutory. In North Carolina, by state law, counties do the taxes for the local supplement for schools. There are states that give their school boards taxing authority. Georgia's one of them. It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag. I could, without being able to categorically, without any reservation, say that didn't exist in North Carolina. I was sure that to my knowledge, didn't exist in
Right.
Wayne
It
County.
is not a local option. It's state law.
And I assured him that we would, based upon the conservative nature of this group of people, I didn't think that was going to happen anytime soon. But thank you all. I'm glad to be back with you, and hope we can march down the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gurley.
Mine will be quick and positive. I'll follow up on the good news and comments on the recent search and rescue and recovery of the Princeton woman that Sheriff Pierce shared with us this morning. I've received many calls and emails from being a neighbor to the Princeton area, thanking Wayne County for all its help. And I'd like to say a great job and a thanks to all the responders and the sheriff, and give them all the accolades they deserve. And secondly, recognize and thank Mr. Chris West for being here with us this morning. That means a lot for you to come in and join us. Chris, appreciate you being here, and let us know what we can do to help you.
I too went to some of the same meetings, the base council and the state of the military, so I won't cover that. We did have a Veterans Advisory Board last week, and we named you chairman. Melissa Watkins has stepped up to accept the mantle of leadership there, and I appreciate her doing that. We already touched on tourism. We had a meeting with that Duke Site Readiness, and had never been to one of those before, and I was very impressed with that. Everybody was at the table that could that needed to be there, and the owner of the property was there too, which I thought was outstanding. I had an opportunity to last Thursday to go to the Ag Celebration event in Kenansville, and I believe you were even there. And the governor, the lieutenant governor, Jimmy, John, I mean, the whole crowd was there, and it was a large number of people, and we really enjoyed free foods. You better bring them in anytime. And finally, I worked the fair both Friday night and Saturday, and I can barely walk. But there's a huge crowd out there. Everybody needs to go out to the fair and spend a few dollars to support that. We got one of the best fairs in this state. So that's all I have.
My only comment, of course, is the fact that we all need to be cognizant of the storm that's brewing off our coast that's coming this way, and we would hope that the cold front pushes it on out to sea, but let's all make sure that we're prepared for the worst and hope for the best. With that said, we're going to have a brief recess and then go into a work session. So we'll have about a 5-minute recess.
Mr. Chairman, before Mr. West leave, I think he ought to stand up and at least tell us what good commissioners we are.
Watch our meeting, we did that last night.
Okay, we're having a recess.